Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Mr. Butter coming back at you. Today I want to get into a pair of kicks that I got from a shock drop on sneakers. Honestly, before I got these shoes in hand, I was kind of undecided on them. I wasn't sure what I'd really think. Today I want to get into the Spider-Man Jordan 1 High OG, the next chapter. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these Spider-Man Jordan 1s. Alright, so on the shock drop that they did on sneakers, I did go for an adult size. I also went for a kid size. I was unable to hit on an adult pair, but I was pumped that I was able to hit a GS pair. I think the price of the GS was $150, but adult sizes are going for $200 suggested retail, and that's pretty high. But I guess whenever you mix in Spider-Man and a Jordan 1, it is an SP, so they just raise up the price whenever they can. But it came in a standard Jordan 1 box. I think the adult pairs do as well, and I was kind of hoping that we would have got a special box. Each shoe was individually wrapped, but as you can see, it's just your average Jordan 1 high box. The tag reads Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG SP. The colors are University Red and Black. This is a GS size 6.5, which is the same as a men's size 6.5. A couple of my kids wear this size, so I figured I'd grab them in something that they could wear if they wanted them. And without any further delay, here they are. The Spider-Man Jordan 1 High OG. They already did a Chicago sort of Jordan 1 High for the first Spider-Man movie. This is the animated movies. I think they're called like Across the Spider-Verse or something like that. But basically, it's animated in the style of like a comic book. It's actually really good if you haven't seen the first one. I was impressed with how much I liked the movie, but they're done really, really well. The graphics are really cool. The animation is really good. And even the storyline. Who doesn't love a Spider-Man movie? I was surprised, but I actually like these movies as much as I did the Spider-Man movies that have real life actors in them, you know. I saw on sneakers the behind the design where the designers were saying that they wanted to combine something classic, which it doesn't get much more classic than the Jordan 1 High, especially in the Chicago colorway, but they wanted to combine something classic and something brand new. And I have never seen a Chicago Jordan 1 look anything like this, but all these mismatched panels and everything, I believe are supposed to represent some of the different Spider-Verses or some of the different Spider-Man characters that come from the different multiverses. And again, if you didn't see the first movie, you might have no idea what I'm talking about. But basically, in the first movie, all these different Spider-Mans came from different multiverses and different like dimensions, if you will, and they all got together to kick some butt, you know. But they each had their own style and their own look, and I think that's basically what they were going for on these shoes. When I saw pictures, I honestly didn't know if I would be into them at all, but now getting them in hand, I think they're dope. I think they're really, really nice. I've seen a lot of people calling these bricks and saying how, you know, terrible they are and that sort of thing. I kind of like them. I'm always a fan of a Chicago colorway. I love the Jordan 1 High. I thought that maybe these would be a little bit too busy and just, you know, too much going on for me to wear. But surprisingly, seeing them in hand, I would rock these, and there is a lot going on with them. But whenever you take into account the inspiration is like basically kind of like a comic book theme, I think they come out well. I think they were able to translate this, you know, into an actual shoe that looks pretty cool. I also appreciate the fact that it seems like they gave us some premium materials, and I think that would have made the difference. I think if you would have got these and they would have seemed cheap, or, you know, like they were just made out of plastic or something like that, I don't think it would have translated as well. But whenever you get these in hand, even just by looking at them, but definitely whenever you feel the materials, these are decent. These are actually really, really nice, and I'm glad that they actually put the effort into these that they did, because I think they came out well. Like I said before, a lot of people were calling them bricks. I think a lot of people at first were saying that they think these are going to sit. I don't see that happening. I think that these might be kind of difficult to pick up. I could be wrong. Right now, resale prices are really reasonable. I've actually been considering grabbing my pair from GOAT right now because I think they're sitting around $250. Like I said before, the retail price is $200. And I think once these drop and everybody strikes out on them, because they're not going to be at the big retailers like Finish Line and Foot Locker and Dick's and all those places, they're only going to be at the smaller boutiques and on the sneakers app. But I think once people take their L's, and then once people start seeing them and seeing people wearing them and things, I think that these might become sought after. It's a Spider-Man theme, and it doesn't matter how old you are, there's always a bunch of fans of like huge comic book characters like that. And I think these might be kind of difficult to grab a hold of. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I am wrong. I hope I can grab a pair for retail. But part of me just wants to go ahead and pay resale for them now, because I think once they drop and everybody takes their L's, I think the bigger sizes are going to be a lot more expensive than what they are right now. We have this translucent material. It's a bright red for the outsole. It's your standard Jordan 1 tread pattern. I didn't realize until I had these in hand that they actually glow. And I went inside from doing the short and I could see them glowing even in the daylight inside. You could just see a little glow coming from them. So I took them into a dark room and they glow like crazy. Maybe at the end I'll add in a little clip of these in a dark room once I go inside so y'all can see it. But I think that's a nice touch, the way that it glows. It's a classic tread pattern. Everybody knows what a Jordan 1 outsole looks like, but I think it looks pretty cool in this translucent red material. But then coming up from that, it looks like we have a aged looking midsole. It looks like it's a little bit stale, especially in comparison to the side panel here, which is bright white. You can see that this midsole and the stitching in the midsole is an off-white color, but I think that looks nice. I think it ties in the shoe pretty nice together, and I think it goes well with some of these different finishes that we have on these little patches up here on the upper. But we have a sail looking midsole, and then as we come to the mud guard, you can see that there's these little patches pieced together. It is a nice red color like we get on Chicago's, but you can see there's patent leather here at the base of the eye stays. And then I don't even know what all of it is. It looks like we have suede. This might be some sort of nubuck or something. And then we have a really soft leather going around the front of the mud guard. But it's all got red stitching. It's all red to represent Spider-Man. But again, you can see this inspiration of different multiverses all coming together. And surprisingly, like I said before, I think it works pretty well. These materials do all seem like premium materials. Patent leather is pretty basic. Like, I can't really say that that's a really high-end material or not, because I always feel like that feels pretty synthetic. But for these other materials, it feels really nice. It feels really good. But then you get some different patterns coming up the eye stays and then wrapping around up by the collar of the shoe. And that definitely ties in that comic book theme. Looks a little bit like pixelated, and it's got all these kind of like, it almost looks like a honeycomb, but that definitely reminds you of Spider-Man, especially the comic book graphics that you see as Spider-Man. For this black patent leather, I thought that was really cool too, because you can't see it in all light, but it has a really neat iridescent effect on it, both on the swooshes and up here by the collar. But at first glance, you might just think it's a regular patent leather, but whenever the light hits it just right, hopefully you can see it on video, but it really shines these rainbow colors, and I really like that effect. I think that's pretty cool looking. The Wings logo isn't really stamped into this pair, but it does look like something that came out of like a 3D book or something like that. Something that you'd put those glasses on and then look at, and it might look like it's coming right at you. But Again, I think that's a cool, unique effect. As we get to the leather on the base of the shoe, it's really soft. It's a really decent material. It looks like it has a little bit of texture. I wouldn't call that tumbled though, but it is a really nice feeling leather. You can see when you're looking down at it that it is a nice thick cut, but I like this white leather that they gave us for the toe box, and then on the side panels, it really does seem like a good material. The tongue kind of matches the midsole. It looks a little bit aged, but it does just feel like a standard nylon tongue. And it's just got some sail piping going along the edges. And then it's got a Nike Air tag there at the top. These came with flat black laces in them. I don't think this GS pair had an extra set with it. I don't know if the adult pair will or not, but I'd be interested in seeing that. I think with a release like this, they could very well give us extra laces, but I'm not sure if they come with extras or not. I think either white or sail or even red might look decent in here. Let me know what you all think. But then for our sock liner, it's black in color, as is the insole down there, and it's got some red Nike Air branding down on it. And overall, I just think these are dope. Really, whenever I saw pictures, I wasn't sure if it was something that I'd be able to pull off or not. I would definitely wear these if I had them in my size, and I am definitely going for my size for retail, and I'm hoping that I can get that W. I know a lot of people were talking a lot of trash on them and just saying that they're bricks and that they're hideous and that sort of thing, but I really like them and I think they were done well. I would wear these, but let me know what you all think about them. I appreciate y'all watching, and I will catch you on the next one. I'm out.